listening to the Danger Tapes podcast with your host, Devin Rummels.
All right, everybody, what's up? This is probably episode 207. Actually, Ryan and Sally just left the building, and John showed up like just as they were leaving.
Yeah, man, my bad.
But yeah, I never really podcast with John like just by himself. So
yeah, it's cool. Been a minute. Sorry, I'm late, as always.
But yeah, you came bearing gifts, man. This is, like I said, this is probably like my favorite beer.
Yeah, for those you can't see, obviously, we're drinking Golden Road Lager.
329. And it is, I don't know, it's very, I think a very slept on, one of their very slept on brews. I think a lot of people really like their IPAs, which are good. Like, yeah,
well, I think I've said it before, man. Like, IPAs are all in. Everyone's all about it. I don't know why, man. That's just the taste I haven't yet acquired, bro.
I think what happened was everybody, it was a big fad, and everybody really, like, they just don't know how to do them. Because there's a lot of microbreweries out there, but they're just, like, not that good.
Yeah, I remember on Reddit reading about, like, there was some post on there talking about who had the best beer, what countries had the best brews, blah, blah, blah. And there was one guy from Sweden that said the United States has some of the best beer in the world. The United States has some of the very worst beer in the world.
Nowhere in between.
Yeah, it's like both.
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely like when I tasted, like, I don't know what fucking sound like an advertisement, but when I tasted like Golden Road's, like I think it's called Wolf Pup IPA or, you know.
Something like that, yeah. Yeah. Sounds about right.
When I tasted their IPAs, though, I was like, holy shit. Like, this
They're
is what
good.
IPA is supposed to taste like.
I'll give it a try, man, but for whatever reason, man, IPAs just haven't, struck a good chord with me, man. The bitterness, I don't know.
Yeah, and it's funny because, like,
steez.
I'll taste like a bad one sometimes, and I'll bring it to somebody's house, and like I have to like pretend like I actually like really like it. I'm like, no, it's really good.
It's delicious. It's delicious. Yeah, no, man. For some reason, it sounds really dumb. Like, I don't like IPAs, but fucking porters and stouts, I'm all about it. I'll drink those all night, or I'll get through like 2 before I'm starting to get stupid.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm glad you came though, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me, man.
I'm really glad you came. I really wanted you to see the spot, like,
dude. Yeah, man. Just the Danger Studios. Like, this is insane, dude. It's insane. Like, I'm tripping out. Like, it came out of nowhere for me too. You're like, yeah, man, I rented out a business. Now I'm setting up a studio. Like, no more in the garage and stuff. And that was good. I thought that was dope how you had the setup there.
Yeah. I mean, there was definitely some like caveats to it. Like, I keep saying like my mom would come outside and get her salad from the fridge or something, and it's just, I don't know.
You're saying some raunchy ass shit or what? Oh, I would totally do.
I mean, it's just a little weird because I mean, obviously they know what I do, but they don't really like listen or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
I get you.
And it's just a little different, like trying to get out of character or even trying to stop talking to the mic when they're like standing like 20 feet in front of you or whatever. But I mean, this is nice because I mean, obviously, like, now we have air conditioning. Now we have like fucking
your own bathroom, man. All you need is like a little kitchenette.
Yeah.
Well, you do kind of.
Yeah. I mean, it's just a matter of setting up a table, and it's gonna be good. God
dang, man! I can't imagine in like 10 years, like, you guys blow up and then you just have a little house chef.
Yeah.
just making omelets all day.
On Saturdays we have sushi.
Exactly, man. This is insanely dope. Freaking insane.
I mean, when I started this, I didn't have like. I mean, I always thought like, oh, it'd be cool if I had like a place that was like a radio station.
Yeah.
But I didn't really think like it would be like possible, like especially like in the middle of town, like so close to the courthouse and maybe 5 minutes away from the mall. Like, I didn't think like that would actually like happen.
Yeah.
I mean, I was telling Aaron last month when Arlie hit me up about this, like this has only been a month in the works. Like, it's not like we've been trying since like January. Like, he literally just texted me. He's like, hey, we're trying to get a spot, or we'd really like you to be a part of it. I was like, okay. Like,
yeah. They didn't even finish telling you about it. Yeah. They're like, that's it. You're like, yeah.
And there were a few other spots that we were looking at.
So I mean, whose idea was this then?
This was definitely Arlie's and I think Aaron's.
What got him thinking on this?
I mean, well, okay, like this actually has been like a few, like, I don't know, maybe like a year in the making, but it's always been in the form of something else. So Arlie's idea, because he does clothes, he wanted to open up a storefront, probably something more like pharmacy or like a boutique. And he's really like, he has a heavy hand as far as like participating in like the redoing of 7th Street right now. So he wanted it to be on 7th Street, and it's just not the situations, but I guess the situation was never really right for, because he always wanted me to be on board with it, Aaron to be on board with it, and it just wasn't the right situation for us. It would have worked. We would have got a cheap spot, but it just wasn't the right situation for us.
Are they gentrifying 7th Street, right? That little main street part, or what?
I think they're maybe trying to do something more like the Claremont Village.
Okay, so it's like a little Main Street drag,
or
like
downtown Redlands and stuff. Yeah.
Okay, I get you. That's cool.
I don't think they're trying to prop up, Starbucks on every corner and.
No. I mean exclusively like little, low key bars, but like nice places to go.
But there's a lot of good restaurants on 7th Street right now. Like they're low key, they're real low key. But I know there's like a Jamaican spot right now.
No,
and all these spots actually have over
jerk chicken, huh?
4.5 stars on Yelp on every spot.
Dang.
Over like at least 100 reviews. Like it's.
Dang, dude.
They're hidden.
Victorville's coming up, eh?
Yeah, it's like really like in the cracks like right now. But
that's badass.
Like if you just know, like if you go down there and you don't turn down the wrong alley right now, you'll be okay. But that's I know there's a pizza spot down there. Obviously, Apollo's been there forever.
Oh, Apollo's those burgers are something else, dude.
Yeah,
those are delicious.
Me and Arlie went to lunch the other day. Like it was funny because we had like a full work day here. Like we're trying to like actually like. Make this a place of business, make it work. And, we were here for 8 hours. I got here at 11. I left here at maybe 6 or 7. And, but we went to lunch and we're like, should we go to Apollo? And we're like, no, Apollo, you're done. Like after Apollo, that's at the end of the day for you. Because when you eat Apollo, you're just fucking like, I'm going to
coma mode, bro.
I'm going to lay down.
Yeah.
And just never wake up.
Yeah, dude. Oh man, but that's some of the best toilet time you'll ever spend in your life.
Yeah.
That's awesome, though, man. So, what made you guys choose this place here? You said you were looking at a few other places.
We were looking at the Highway 18 one, and it was okay. Like, I know you've seen the building before. It was right before St. Mary's. There's like a sign on there that says Apple Services or whatever.
Okay.
They service computers. It was in that building, and it was actually more than this spot, and it wasn't as nice. But the guy, originally he wanted us to we were like, okay, we're okay with paying this much, and he wanted way more. It was a piece of shit place. We would have had to put in way more work just to even get started, and so it didn't work out. Like we were just a little discouraged, and then his realtor guy, he hit us up another day. Me and him were just talking, just come check out this other spot. So we started seeing more spots that were just way cheaper, and they were way nicer. And we're like, well, this might actually happen. We could actually do this. So that was way deep on Highway 18, probably at least a mile past St. Mary's. And we liked him. We liked him a lot. We were actually thinking of going into that. But then he was like, well, I really feel off of Civic is going to be where we're supposed to be. And I was even skeptical. I'm like, I don't know. I feel like they're either going to be too much or not nice. And he found this space, and it was perfect.
Yeah, dude, this is a nice spot.
Yeah, and it was just one of those things I just had to leave in his hands. It just I trusted his judgment. I knew what he wanted. He knew what I wanted, and I just felt like he's really built up just a way to talk to people and figure out how to get what he wants.
Okay, so his business, you said, was mainly clothing,
and he's doing marketing too.
So marketing. So basically. When you say marketing, are we talking about web-based? Are we talking about,
a little of everything? Okay. So he knows people that print. He can make business cards. He knows how to design business cards. He knows how to do brochures if he really wants to.
Okay.
He also does. He's doing a lot of stuff for not for Snapchat, but he knows how to if a business wanted to do I guess they're geo filters. So basically, they just hone in on if you wanted to do something just for the movie theater. People could use that snap, and it'll be like a business. It'll be basically an advertisement, and they could pay for that. And if it's Mike's Hamburgers or whatever, it'll say you could use that filter. It'd be a dope looking filter on Snapchat. So it's free. It's not free advertising, but it's advertising for them, for people that are basically going to already be on Snapchat.
Oh, okay.
So
smart, dude.
Yeah, I don't know. I would have never fucking thought of it. I don't use Snapchat, so
I don't use it either, man.
It just kind of went above my. That was one of those things. It was see the point. Like, I already have Instagram. Like,
yeah.
So I don't know. He's figuring some shit out, and I think that I've always had ideas as far as the Danger Tapes network goes, and to get people to actually do podcasts. And I feel like this last year I didn't do as many podcasts, but it was mostly me just figuring out how to make this as simple as possible for me to do. And I think in doing that, I figured out a way that this is almost like dummy proof now, because as you see, like, we don't have a computer here, but we're still podcasting. So, I mean, granted, if people know their way around like GarageBand or, Audacity, like, they could figure out and do their own podcast now. And it's just a matter of flipping that switch. It's that easy. So, I mean, it took some time for me to kind of figure that out, what I needed, what I didn't. And I'm like, I don't want to bring a computer in here. And the only thing I'm probably going to bring in is like an iPad, just because we were even just talking about it right now, is just streaming to Facebook.
That'd be dope, dude.
Yeah, so,
that'd be real dope. Oh, man, this is insanely cool, man. So, I mean, you're going to, obviously, this is the studio part of it, so most of Arlie's work is going to be done on the computer over there, or, I mean, you guys going to do the screen printing here, or?
He has people like that know how to screen print, and he doesn't even he doesn't lay hands on it.
He just puts in orders, and that's it.
Yeah, that's it.
Damn, dude.
And he's built up good relationships with people to get it done the way he needs to get it done.
That's insanely cool. And what about Aaron?
Aaron, he's going to be doing mostly music recording here, but he's working a lot with with Arlie as far as like promoting his clothing and getting it sold, and so they're going kind of hand in hand. But he's using this place as just, I mean, he has a kid too, so obviously it's kind of it's hard to get anything personal done, like as far as art goes. And
yes, I know better than most. Yeah.
I mean, so this is kind of his way of like actually making this into a legitimate like art form.
Yeah.
Instead of daddy.
Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah, man. This is insanely cool, man. The chairs, everything's on point.
Yeah.
Yeah. Congratulations, man.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
Yeah, this is super dope. So, are you going to be changing your podcasting schedule, or?
I need to do more frequent. Like, I've actually done more podcasts in these last 5 days than I've done in like the last 5 months. So, so I'm definitely going to be more frequent with it. I've been doing a lot of YouTube videos actually. Just
really,
yeah, just about sneakers and.
I gotta subscribe to you, man.
Yeah, it's just a little bit of everything.
Show
like,
some love.
I did one of I don't know if you've ever went of Gus's Fried Chicken.
No.
Me and Karina went. 2 weeks ago. Oh man, it was so good.
Yeah,
so good. Because we were actually going to go to Howlin' Ray's. I don't know if you've ever been to Howlin' Ray's.
No, I haven't been.
But there, I guess like this new trend in fried chicken is like the spiciest fried chicken you've ever had. Like me and her were watching a video on it last night. And the guy's like, oh, yeah, we use ghost peppers. We use habaneros that are only, a few weeks old.
Oh, good Lord.
Yeah. And, like, so you could get your chicken, with nothing on it. You get it kind of spicy, which will actually still make you sweat. And you get spicy, like spicy chicken. And I guess that's the new fad. Like, this is just a new thing. So we went to Gus's because they're kind of like their contemporary or even, like, competitor. But I don't think they really specialize in spicy chicken. They're just really good fucking fried chicken. So we went. I did a little video on that. But I want to just make everything clean. I just want to make stuff that people like to watch. And so that's kind of my way of getting, like, I don't know. Like, I found that like, some stuff like that kind of fits into the podcast, too. Because the way I'm doing it is not like, you watch vlogs. People have their face all over it. And it's just, I don't know. Sometimes it gets annoying.
Yeah.
I've been just really concentrating on, like, the subject. And then, like, I won't even talk during the video. Like, I'll go back home and I'll just do, like, little commentary on it. Because I'm going to do one for that Del Toro exhibit. I took a lot of footage there. So,
dude, I can't. That's another thing I got to handle, man, before that thing leaves, man. I got another couple months. Yeah. Yeah, how was that, man? I was really curious. Like, I remember reading about it in the Downtown LA newspaper, when I should have been hard at work. And that just seemed like the coolest freaking thing. Like, Del Toro's such a dope, like, he seems like such a dope guy. Like, he's just a big old nerd.
He is.
You know what I mean? Like, everything he does is because he loves it. He loves this genre. He loves this style.
Right.
Oh my God.
I was even telling Derek, I'm like, Del Toro is a director that makes, like, occasionally will make a mediocre movie, but he stands behind it just because that's what he loves to do. Like, he wouldn't see himself doing anything else.
Yeah, dude. Like, I mean, I don't know. Like, Pacific Rim, I know is never going to win any Academy Awards or anything, but that was one of the funnest, dopest movies I've seen in a long, long time, dude. I loved that movie.
Yeah. He almost seems like a less pretentious Peter Jackson.
That's pretentious.
Because I feel like Del Toro will really take a chance on something that something like Pacific Rim. Like there were parts of Pacific Rim that I thought were just whatever, but overall, like the kaiju and the fucking
they were insanely cool, man.
Just
giant robots fighting giant. What else could you possibly want for a dude? Like as a boy's fantasy through and through, man.
And they're making another one.
Yeah, John Boyega.
I'm excited. It's gonna be fucking.
Yeah, it's gonna be dope, dude. I'm glad because it looked for a while like they had squashed that and that was gonna be the end of it.
Yeah.
So yeah, have they started shooting on it? Do you know? Or
I don't know. I heard it was gonna come out next year, and I heard maybe even 2018.
Okay.
So
I'll wait however long it takes, man. I just want to see it.
Yeah, it was a fun movie.
Hell yeah,
for sure.
But I mean, between that, Pan's Labyrinth's got to be one of the. Oh my god.
Me and Karina just rewatched that the other night, and I felt like I had just seen it for the first time because when I watched it, I didn't have the best TV. I just upgraded to like a Samsung TV, so like I felt like even though it was a DVD, like I felt like I was watching.
The set design is insane on that one, isn't it? Oh my god, man! Yeah, even the monsters or whatever, like that creature at the table.
Oh yeah,
yeah. That one was insanely dope. So I mean, what did you think about Pan's Labyrinth? Seeing it again,
like I said, I had always known that I liked it.
Oh man,
that's
not emphatic enough.
Well, see,
brother.
That's the thing. Like I had always known that I liked it, and I always knew that it was. I'm like, okay, like because that was like kind of like my way into like seeing movies that weren't just made in America. Like that was like probably one of the first few. Like you had introduced me to like Old Boy around that time.
Yeah,
Pan's Labyrinth. So I was watching a lot of like different international movies, and I'm like, man, this is fucking crazy. Like I've never seen a movie like this before. So rewatching it, I was just looking at it from a completely different eye because I just went to the Del Toro exhibit, so we went back to like watch it. So like we're seeing like all the characters and like you see like because at the Del Toro exhibit they have like these little placards that explain like why he puts things in his movies for the why basically the reason, and like it's just basically his words saying like I put in kids because they are like innocents and they make more sense because they're basically closer to like this spiritual world because they're so innocent and stuff like that.
And imaginative.
Yeah.
I mean, with Pan's Labyrinth, I think one of the biggest themes in it was just like the imagination in children versus, adults who only see tangible things. Like they don't live on that plane. They don't see.
They see other shit.
Yeah, they don't see that, because it's dead, to them.
Right.
Yeah, man.
But I loved it the second time around. Like it was just.
Dude, and the ending hurts, man. To me, it did. Like it always kind of did. Like I was just.
What way?
Well, because to me, whatever she saw about her becoming the princess or whatever, passing the test, to me that was part of her imagination. But at the end of the day, to me, what I saw is she died. Like that was it. And I don't know. I just thought that was like such a fucking sad ending because even the girl's story was kind of shitty.
Yeah.
So, is that heartless freaking, was he Colonel?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was the Colonel.
I got to rewatch it. Like I said, it's been,
I forgot
it's got to be almost a decade.
I forgot he got smiley faced in that movie.
Oh, yeah, dude.
I forgot.
That was gnarly scene, man. But, just, I remember just the set design, the monsters, like, it's so imaginative, man. It's like Guillermo del Toro's, like, imagination is something else, man.
Yeah.
Like, it's insane.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, he really does stuff that just sort of he imagines. Like, it's not. There's nobody else really doing that. At this point, it's basically like a team of writers that'll say, like, okay, like, in Civil War, this needs to happen. In Civil War, this needs to happen. Like, no, like, Del Toro, like, imagines, like, all this. Like, oh, this came from my head.
Yeah, I guess, man, because that vision is insane. Hey, did you, I know that the Canon did an episode, or they talked about Pan's Labyrinth. There was an episode with I don't know if they were talking about Guillermo del Toro specifically as a director or just some of his work or something like that, but the subject of the movie came up. And, like always, Devin Fauci, like, gives a crazy cool interpretation, of, the movie itself, man. Did you ever listen to that?
Were they talking about Pan's Labyrinth or Labyrinth, the other movie? The one...
No, they were talking... Well, I don't remember if that other movie came out, but he was specifically talking about Pan's Labyrinth. He was specifically pointing out.
So I didn't hear that part then.
Oh, okay. I don't want to butcher what he said,
Okay.
but he said a lot kind of, like I said, like imagination had to do, like it was like a central theme throughout the whole movie. Like even that monster, and I think when I read about it, being at LACMA, that exhibit, he had it there, right? Like the monster that had the eyes in its hands. I forgot, there was a specific name he had for it, but I forgot. You know, but basically it was kind of representing the Colonel. You know, like he was kind of the death of innocence, the death of imagination. You saw the little children's shoes in the background. You know, he was like, you know, like, and the eyes in its hands were kind of a big indicator. Like it was like to kind of signify it could only see what's tangible. It can only see what could be touched and felt like. And it was like, it's
okay.
like, it eats.
I fucking never thought
kills,
about that. Yeah,
yeah. Like imagination is it doesn't
see
see that. Yeah,
it ate the fairies.
Yeah, like but I'm saying just imagine like it literally can only see what it can touch.
Right.
You know what I mean? Hence, I don't know. I thought
That's
it was kind of cool. Like
yeah.
when you really delve into it, and even when he kind of explains, it's like one of those things where sometimes you don't know what the fuck you're looking at, and someone kind of points you in the right direction. You're like, oh shit, like that's that's right. Yeah, honestly, like I want to rewatch it because I'm pretty sure if it was that moving to me when I was like young ass dude, like I'm pretty sure now.
Oh yeah,
it'd be even more.
Yeah, you notice
meaningful.
a lot of different stuff. Like I mean, even I think what works really well for like Del Toro movies is that like there's a part in there that's really CGI.
Yeah,
and it's like you could like it doesn't like it sticks out like a sore thumb, but everything else in that movie is like perfect. Like the fawn in that movie, everything that was done that's like tangible in that movie like looks like real. You know, the creature with the eyes in his hand. You know, everything. Yeah. And the part I'm actually talking about is the toad. She has to go and feed the toad those stones. Yeah. Like it sticks out like a sore thumb because that's actually something that was not like that he didn't like create with like makeup or. You know, I'm sure he like works a lot with like the Henson studio or whatever. But like, I mean, aside from the stuff like that, but everything else just like looks real. Like even I don't know if you ever watched Hellboy 2.
I think I've seen them all. Yeah. Yeah,
Hellboy 2. Like I really liked it more than Hellboy 1 because I felt like all the creatures in there were like the same. Like they were like built. Like they were almost like the first Star Wars. Yeah. Like when you go into the cantina and you see all the fucking weird ass creatures that were real. Yeah. Hellboy 2 had that feeling to it. Like aside from maybe like the Golden Army at the end, like all of the creatures were like pretty much real. Like there's one like guarding like some weird alley and shit. Like it's just weird shit.
That's sick. Yeah. I'll have to double check that, man. But I think I know what you mean because I remember the first one. It seemed like either the suits were kind of too big or maybe he was using like robot or mechanical props that didn't quite move as naturally as a person would. So yeah, I have to check that second one out. But yeah, dude, you're gonna make me go down to the whole well, his whole works, man. I'm gonna have to rewatch all of that.
I know, like I didn't rewatch, but I watched for the first time his
Del Toro Compendium.
I rewatched I fucking watched Kronos, one of his earlier movies, and I bought The Devil's Backbone, one of his other. I haven't watched that one yet.
You know what? I haven't seen any of those, man.
Kronos is pretty good. It just, I mean, the ending was okay, but I really like the idea behind it. It's sort of like that magical realism that he uses a lot in it. It's basically this old man, like he's running this antique shop, and what's the dude's name from? He played Hellboy too, but he's from Sons of Anarchy.
Ron Perlman.
Yeah, he comes into the shop. He's working for another, like this richer guy, his uncle, and he's like, "Well, you have this antique here that I really want to buy. I want to pay top dollar for." And the old man says, "Like, no, like you can't buy that. That's, it's mine. I don't want to sell it for whatever reason." He knows, like, for most of the stuff he has in that shop is not worth over $100. But he's like, "Why would you want to pay so much money for this?" So like he goes home, he inspects it. It turns out to be like this, basically like this like bug. Like there's like this bug living in this thing. Like it's mechanical. So every time they go into the little thing, like there's like this bug living inside of it. And so like he's kind of playing with it. He puts it on his chest, and it like basically takes hold of like where his heart is, and like it like kind of leaves a mark on him, and it like lets go real quick or whatever. And like the next morning he wakes up and he's feeling like revitalized, like he's a younger man. Basically, like he goes back, 5 years or whatever, and so like he gets kind of addicted to that power, so he keeps putting it on every day. And but one of the side effects of it is it basically makes somebody immortal. So you can only go back so far until you're actually like, I think if when you die, like you just don't die. So he comes back, and it's just a weird movie. Like I won't even tell you how it ends, but that's everything up to like the first like half hour.
Oh shit.
Yeah, so it's a weird flick too, but it's just like he's trying to buy it for his uncle too because his uncle is dying, and so he wants to live.
Yeah.
Obviously, so it's.
That sounds awesome, dude.
Yeah.
I have to check that out for sure. Dang. I didn't know. I forgot about all those older ones. You know, I think the first Del Toro movie I saw was probably the original Hellboy.
Oh yeah.
Or Pan's Labyrinth, one of the two.
Right.
Whatever came first.
And then he made the Orphanage, right? Or
yeah. I dug that one too.
Really?
That was I mean that one was not too bad. I mean, his scary movies, his outright like horror kind of oriented movies. Because didn't he make Mama too?
Oh, I think so.
Yeah, I mean they're not great, you know. They're okay. I guess the scares weren't good,
right?
But the subject matter itself, or like the kind of the story, the story of the movie themselves, were like I found them kind of moving. Like I said, I mean he's a big old nerd, but he's kind of a softie. He's definitely got kind of an emotional side to him,
right?
You know, and I always kind of tend to really empathize with like the characters and the struggles, like. Even if, you know, say for a horror movie, it's really not that scary. I don't know. I still kind of find the story themselves to be really well done. So can't hate on them too much.
Yeah. Seen any other movies?
Dude, I haven't even been in the movies. Oh God, I there's so many that have passed me by that I wanted to see, but you know they're kind of past. You know, Sausage Party I wanted to see. That one with Bryan Cranston, The Insider. Never got to see that.
I didn't see that either.
You know, there was a few out there that I completely missed. You know, I think the only time I went in to go to the movies was to take my son to go see some movie he wanted to go see. I forgot. I didn't even get to see Pets. Like the one movie that I actually wanted to take him to, that and The Jungle Book. I heard The Jungle Book was insanely good.
The Jungle Book was so good.
See, and that's what everyone keeps saying. It's like, dude, I wanted to take my son to go see that because, you know, it's a movie for him, but I heard it was just a freaking good movie. So.
Yeah. It was a really good watch.
So, I mean, what made it good in your opinion, or what was it that sold you?
Okay, let me try to think back. It's been a few months since I've seen it. I think what I really liked about it was, you know, when it's a Disney movie, and I think something that's really been bugging me a lot with Disney movies, I mean, just in general, like it's just, okay, like you have a movie like Tomorrowland, right? And you have not so much the antagonist, but like I guess what you would call like the minions. They make it so like they're not so menacing, and they'll basically make it like the minions in that movie, like it took away from it so much because they're basically like, I think, robots. I mean, they're androids, so they look human. So every time, you know, they're about to do something, they're about to try to kill somebody or whatever, they smile, and it's like this cheesiest smile you would ever see. Like it completely took away from it because they're obviously supposed to be menacing. They're trying to kill these people from, you know, saving the world anyways, and they're just, you know, all they can do is like smile like every time they're about to do something.
Lame as fuck.
Yeah, and they can't just be like shadow faced or anything. And scare the kids too much. And I felt like they did that with Up too, even though Up is probably like one of my favorite movies, like animated movies.
Yeah.
You know, they had the I want to say they had the Doberman in that movie, the like kind of the head. And it's like, instead of making him so like he had a deep voice or whatever, they make him have a squeaky voice so he's not so scary, which I get it. Like if you have kids, like you don't want your kids to be terrorized. But I just remember when I was a kid, whether it was a kid's movie or anything, like I know I was like terrified of like Who Framed Roger Rabbit, because it's like that end scene where like he starts melting. Like that shit was fucking scary to me.
Yeah, dude.
And like,
that scars you, man.
Yeah.
That scars you. Was it the Goon Squad or the Goon Patroller?
Yeah.
Oh my god, dude, that's crazy. I get what you mean, but I don't know. In Up, at least it was kind of well done because when you finally hear his voice, it's like so ironic compared to what you were expecting, you know. Right. But I don't know.
I mean, but as far as Jungle Book, I felt like they didn't do anything like that. They really like.
So like the antagonist was like scary in a way.
Right. It was fucking Idris Elba, like. You know, either you're really.
I can't imagine a better voice for any fucking villain
for
than
a tiger.
Idris Elba. Yeah, I can't imagine. Like named Khan, right? That's his name, Khan. I can't. Idris Elba was born for that part, dude.
And I think Christopher Walken played a perfect King Louis.
King Louis. He wasn't an outright bad guy. He was just kind of like a.
He wanted the flame, so he was just trying to work with Mowgli to go get the flame. He was just more trying to take take over the jungle. He was trying to take it back from basically. I think the elephants or something like that.
Oh, okay.
Did you?
Oh, go ahead.
No, yeah, but he was perfect for fucking King Louis. He had that fucking Brooklyn voice. They try to make him more mafia-like, and it was cool. But without being too over the top. It was perfect.
Ah, man, and I heard that the CGI was some of the best that's ever been done for a movie. Yeah. You know, in terms of facial features, showing animation in an animal. Because I mean, a lot of the pitfalls, or at least one of the pitfalls that I've always seen is that. You make them too human-like, right? When you try to do CGI on animals, they're too. They look like people, kind of almost like a face swap on fucking Snapchat or something.
Yeah.
With the animal in question. But I heard that with Jungle Book, they looked like the animal, but they still were able to express even little nuanced emotions, kind of like humans. Understated, where they weren't overacting or I don't know, just little nuanced, quick little. Faces that conveyed 1,000 words kind of deal, or at least that's what I read a lot about it. That, the CJ was just super well done.
Oh yeah, it was really good. So you would have enjoyed that.
Ah, shit, man. See, I never got a chance to do that. Out of curiosity, did you ever, in any of your English classes or anything like that, did you ever have to read the Jungle Book or kind of interpret what was it they were talking about? Because I mean, I'm pretty sure it was an allegory for. Something,
right? Because fucking what's his name? Rudyard Kipling was a big old imperialist. So
yeah.
Didn't he write what's it called? White Man's Burden too.
Probably.
Yeah, that was him. It was he wrote White Man's Burden.
Okay.
So I think with Jungle Book, I don't know. What I've always found about the Jungle Book was more just sort of what have I always thought about it? I think it was more you have basically man in the jungle. And you have basically, so you could take a character like King Louis who wants to kind of take over the jungle. And, he's ape-like, so he's obviously kind of human-like as well. So he wants to be more advanced than what he already is. But for whatever reason, because of greed, he just can't do it. And you have someone like Khan who basically just wants to run the jungle. He wants the jungle to stay pure. So he's probably more like some of the tribes that were already, in Africa or wherever it was, that they didn't, or India in that case, they didn't want, people coming into the jungle any further than they already were, because you have, basically, you did have that village, and that's where the people were supposed to stay, in that village.
Yeah.
They weren't supposed to venture out into the jungle, and you have someone like Mowgli, who the animals are treating like an animal, and they're okay with him being around. And you have someone like Khan saying, no, when he becomes a man, he will fuck shit up, and we can't have that. So you have someone probably like him who's probably more who has the thoughts of, the well-being of the jungle in mind, and doesn't want fucking the white man coming into the jungle and fucking more shit up.
Yeah.
So I've always found it more just sort of a battle of where everybody stood with imperialism.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, that's pretty cool. You're going to get me to read that too, man. Okay, so I have all of these Guillermo del Toro movies to watch, and now I have the Jungle Book to read. And
After you recommended the canon to me, I've been wanting to go back and rewatch a lot of movies.
Bro. Yeah. Their commentary is insanely good on those
See, I haven't heard their actual commentary either, though.
Well, no, I meant just even in the episodes. Their interpretations, I guess, is the better way to put it.
Right.
And that's the thing that I love about both of them is, everyone on some level knows how to, interpret movies, but they literally speak the language of film in a way that,
right.
I don't know, that it just, I don't see it sometimes, even it's in front of my face, not until they point it out that I'm like, holy shit, you're right. That's exactly what, I don't know. So I love listening to their episodes just because you get usually you get a completely new take on a movie. Did you ever listen to the one about Forrest Gump?
No.
Yeah.
Do you need another beer?
I'm good right now. Go ahead and grab one.
You could tell me though.
No, but anyway, about Forrest Gump, I remember when it came out, it was like super well received. There was all these people talking about how inspirational it was, that there was a man who obviously mentally disabled. He had every disadvantage in life, or a lot of disadvantages, and he just couldn't even, like, he could not fail, or he could not be anything less than great at anything that he did, right? But when when Devin was talking about it, or even Amy Nicholson, I think she kind of took the same position, but basically when they kind of explained it, they were just talking about how cynical the movie was, how absolutely dark and hateful that movie was. That movie literally talked shit about every kind of sect of American life at that time. Whereas, if you read reviews of the movie when it came out at the time, even like Roger Ebert said, it's like, oh, it's a celebration of this, of the, like domination, like of the human spirit, like, the conquest, like the human spirit conquest over everything. Like, it's just like seeing the two camps was just hilarious. But then, when they were talking about it, they're like, at the end of the day, they're like, well, there's this guy that does great in all of these things, and he's mentally retarded. So there's kind of like basically saying, you have to be fucking retarded to be successful here, or like any fucking idiot can, be successful in this country with, I don't know. And hearing them just talk about certain parts of the movie, it's hilarious. I was just curious.
I've heard, the last one I listened to was the one on Shawshank Redemption. And they were talking, Devin was like, he was saying basically, Shawshank Redemption's a really, like, just, it's a good movie. But I think it's probably the cargo shorts of movies where, they look okay, you could probably wear them to barbecue, and you could put a lot of stuff in the pockets. And I think for people, it's for a lot of those types of people who wants to put their own type of baggage into a movie. And like cargo shorts, you're able to put that stuff into the shorts.
That's hilarious. Yeah, and it was funny because they were talking about, I remember that episode, I think they were saying that it seemed like a lot more important movie, and they actually credited the popularity of the movie, or like how many people believe it to be so great nowadays with its run on TNT. I guess for a while on TNT, that's like every other time slot, it'd be Shawshank Redemption. Right, like, fucking 18 out of 24 hours a day. And you just hear the voice of God, Morgan Freeman talking to the crowd. So it was just kind of funny. They credited the movie with like, or their movie's popularity with that. They're like, I honestly think TNT had a lot to do with how popular this movie is now. Like, everyone voting it to be like the best movie of all time.
Yeah, they really do bring that sort of light, and it's funny because like they'll even do like just stuff you maybe even thought about yourself before, but like for whatever reason you can't talk to anybody else that doesn't really see movies the way you do. Yeah. Like I know even for like Old Boy, they were like, well, yeah, this is maybe like one of the first movies that had what it would look like if a movie was more like directed by somebody who did video games or was inspired by video games. And so like
that fight scene was pretty much fight scene said everything about that.
I mean, it was definitely like something inspired by, Streets of Rage or Mario Brothers, like just that 2D like linear plane where they're fighting. Like you don't see any other angle aside from when he actually like first walks out from that room and you see the whole hallway of fucking baddies.
And to me, I remember watching that movie, and even back then, because I was really young. I was probably still in high school or maybe just out of it, when I first seen that movie. Hold on. Sorry, I had to take that swig of Golden Road. I remember thinking my biggest takeaway was like, this is a real fucking villain. Like, this was a guy who was so pissed off, so fucking hateful of Odaisu and, his perceived slight in a way, or perceived wrongdoing, that, because, at the end, when Odaisu finally figures out everything, and you figure out, hey, this guy's been fucking with him the whole time. He pretty much had to spell it out with a neon sign to get Odaisu to come to him, because he was too stupid to figure out the clues and all this shit. And while the whole thing, before I get into that, so when he finally sees this guy, he goes to like his fucking tower. He's like the top floor of this ridiculously big tower, which pretty much implies this guy has the wealth, he had the brains to be successful, to have all this money. He literally could have done anything he wanted to with his life, go anywhere, whatever. But no, he dedicated his life to just having the means to be able to torture Odesu for all of these years. And at the end, when finally he reveals the big twist, and I don't want to say just in case there's anyone out there that hasn't seen it, but when he finally reveals the big, fuck you at the end, he offs himself.
Yeah.
Like, literally, like, he could have done anything after. Odesu pretty much literally was at his feet groveling to him. Like, everything was done. And rather than revel in it or rather than anything, he just like, all right, I'm out. Like, that's it. Like, I don't know. Like, that to me, like, was like a different kind of villain I had never seen in a movie before.
That was his sole purpose for living.
That, like, literally, that was just his sole purpose. And once that was done, he was just, all right, fuck it, I'm done. Peace. Yeah, like it, like you'll never write it. You'll never, like, there's no revenge to be taken on for Odesu or nothing. Like, that was just it. Like, I just remember thinking, like, that's a boss motherfucker right there, dude. Jesus.
And I never watched any of the other vengeance movies. Like, that was Old Boy. I've seen a couple times, and it was definitely like wow, it's fucking.
Oh my god.
It's fucking nuts.
Yeah, dude.
It's fucking nuts.
Yeah. Yeah, man, that was a great freaking movie. I mean, it's twisted. I remember it kind of sucked too because I remember I bought like the Criterion edition, blah blah, and I was like so proud of it. I lent it out to a couple people, like, "Oh, you gotta watch this movie. This movie's insane."
They just kind of made them come back with that enthusiasm for it.
No, they just came back with the like kind of like, "You're weird." Like they were like, "You like this shit?" Like they're like, "Yeah, that was definitely interesting," and blah blah. Like, I mean, I get it. It's not gonna be everyone's cup of tea, but I was like, "No, fuck you, man. This is good. This is really fucking good."
Well, I think something with something like that, because I've showed it to Ryan before, and Ryan doesn't watch a lot of movies to begin with.
So it was lost on him too?
Well, he liked it. I think he even said like he kind of figured out what was going on early on.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, and we actually watched it high together. But we, like, I just think like, okay, like, I think with movies like that, like whether people really like them or not, like I think for something like that to exist and they really like committed to it, because I don't think anything like the very few times when something that like grandeur and you have like the villain basically off himself at the end, does that like exist in movies where they just like, okay, like we committed to this idea of him being just fucking with Odesu for so long, so much so that okay, the villain doesn't live on to say like, oh ha ha ha, like you'll never find me again or whatever. Like no, like this was his sole purpose for living. This is what we commit to, and this is our movie, and they present it to you. And I feel like there's very few of those movies that really like are really able to, like, I guess like I said, just commit to that. Yeah. And I think they're maybe just too afraid to take those chances. And I think with a movie like Old Boy, like they took those chances and they were like, well, this is what we have. Like this is our movie. Like you're either going to enjoy this or you're just going to fucking think John is weird. Like,
yeah, I guess. Well, unfortunately, it was the latter. But yeah, man, I remember even when I watched it, man, thinking like this movie is fucking insane. It's a shame they had to ruin it by trying to redo it.
Yeah, I did see Sausage Party though.
How was that?
It was funny. It was really funny. Yeah. I think what's gonna be Sausage Party is gonna be, it's gonna be one of those movies you see, and it was kind of like this with Pineapple Express for me. I didn't initially think it was hilarious until like I actually started thinking about it, like some of the dumb shit they said in that movie, and like because I thought it was funny and I thought a lot of parts were really clever, but when I was watching, I was like, okay, that was like okay, obviously that was an easy pun, but when you go back and think about it, you're like, okay, that was fucking silly, and you just start thinking about like, oh, like the flatbread said this or whatever, like that was pretty fucking funny.
Yeah, it was funny on Reddit. Somebody was talking about it and said that was Seth Rogen, or that was the same thing to Seth Rogen that 8 Crazy Nights was for Adam Sandler.
Okay.
Yeah, did you ever see 8 Crazy Nights?
No.
It was kind of a raunchy animated deal, a lot older and stuff, but I remember, yeah, I tried showing Jack to, I think it was on Netflix or something. I started playing. I was like, oh, it's a cartoon. I remember it kind of being funny with adult jokes. Yeah. And I was like, they were really adult jokes. I was like, turn it off.
I think it was really good. I think in just sort of bringing that, like I was saying before, like, okay, when you would watch like something like Who Framed Roger Rabbit, like obviously it was something that maybe parents would think like, oh, this is for kids. But there are a lot of very like deeper themes in that movie that maybe were just like not for kids at all.
Yeah. No, and I knew even when I saw it as a kid, Jessica Rabbit, I was like,
Yeah.
What is that in my pants? Okay.
I should not have this right now.
Yeah, like what is going on? Yeah.
So yeah, I think what Sausage Party did is kind of bring that like style of animation like into the modern world, because I mean there's really nothing like that as far as like animation is primarily for kids now.
Yeah.
I think just as far as having something that adult and that raunchy exist in the form of like a Pixar movie, like
that's sick.
I think it's like definitely a necessity, because I mean there were a lot of movies like that to just they're just kind of going away. Like
it's a goddamn shame.
I enjoyed it though. I think it was fun. I think you will enjoy it.
Yeah, man. I want to see if I can catch it on the late run or maybe at the matinee, that Dollar Theater or whatever. Because, man, I just haven't had the friggin' time, man.
I think I definitely do see the correlation to it being the Blazing Saddles of our time, because especially after seeing...
did you hear Devin talk about that?
Because after he had said, like, okay, like, as I listened to their podcast where they were talking about Blazing Saddles, he had said, like, basically with Blazing Saddles, like, the only way you could end something like Blazing Saddles is by having just this explosion of chaos in a movie, and it definitely ends that way with Sausage Party.
Is it
like,
really?
There's no other way to end it but the way that they end it, and you're just like, okay, like all this makes sense. Like
that is awesome, dude. I'm gonna have to check that out for sure. Yeah.
Maybe you might want to. I don't know if I would have enjoyed it more high. It was definitely, like I said, it was definitely, like I said, something that thinking about it was just a lot. Like it was funny. Like it was really funny.
Yeah, I'll check it out for sure, man. So how's everything else been with you, man?
Good, man.
Yeah,
everything's been good. I feel like.
What are you playing on your PS4 net lately?
Okay, today I read a rumor that Red Dead Redemption they're making an HD remake for PS4,
God.
and it's supposed to drop next week.
Oh god!
And I creamed myself at the breakfast table.
Oh my god, dude! Honestly, like, I mean, I love westerns, man. Like, to me, westerns have always been. I mean, it's not just a nostalgia thing. Like, I used to watch my westerns with Grandpa back in the day. But like some of the best endings, like even when I was like too little to fully grasp the meaning of stuff. Like I remember, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, or like other like Sergio Leone flicks. Mm-hmm. Or I mean, to me, my all-time favorite is actually Once Upon a Time in the West. But I remember, they always seemed so fucking impactful, and just the idea of cowboys, like it was like a different kind of character, right? Like, yeah, you'd always. I mean, I guess it was really akin to like old samurai movies. You'd got these like guys of few words, that are all about action and this and that. And there's a lot of the Sergio Leone flicks are like that. Like, the main guy, he's just like, I don't know. It's almost like watching Deadwood. Like, these guys don't talk. They're action takers, and I don't know. I always really enjoyed that genre. But shit, what were we talking about?
We were talking about Red Dead Redemption.
Yeah, Red Dead Redemption. Okay, my bad. I remember my point now. My point is that was exactly like that. Like, I enjoyed GTA and all that. The characters always, over the top, a lot of them and stuff. And it's fun. It's cool. But Red Dead, like it got so much right about, like the Western kind of stories and stuff on there, and I remember playing it through the end and just thinking like what a good fucking story this is, and like how much it hurt at the end, like when you saw everything happen. Mm-hmm. And then how like literally right after, like you're kind of heartbroken, the very next chapter, like you kind of make it right, in a way, with the sound and stuff. It's just like, damn, dude, like I can't remember playing a game that was both so freaking fun to play and at the same time still have such a great fucking story to go through. Like, it wasn't just the gameplay that was fun, but like you really did want to finish it. Like, I guess at the end of it, like I have this bad habit, right, with like open box or open sandbox kind of games, right, like GTAs and stuff. Right. I never finish them. I have like too much freedom, not enough direction, that like sometimes I don't really power through it. But with Red Dead, the storyline was so good that I was both, I would spend a lot of time fucking around. So
you were compelled to finish it.
Yeah, like I would do all these stupid side quests, but I was still so compelled to finish it because the storyline was just so fucking good on it. Yeah.
I think I enjoyed it too, and there were a lot of people that thought it ended where, like, you just go home to your ranch. Like, a lot of people didn't know you were actually supposed to, like, do you were supposed to do chores essentially to, like, complete the game. So, like, yeah, they have you, like, you know, like, we gotta go shoot these birds because they're eating all the grain, like, or like I gotta go
They're
fucking.
Fuck this! What's the point of this?
I gotta go. My cows got out. I gotta go wrangle them.
Yeah, dude.
Like, what the fuck? This is a game. But there was a lot of people that didn't know, like, you're supposed to keep going through that.
Yeah.
And that's, like, what makes it, I guess, even more impactful is that he was trying to settle down, and ultimately, like, his fucking sins just caught up to him. And it was fucking...
Yeah, I mean...
It's the best Western that's been made on a fucking...
Yeah,
it turns out to be a video game.
Yeah, dude. And just at, like I said, the very end, like, the post-credit shit at the very, very end. It's just... Man, I remember that shit, like, struck such a chord with me. Like, yeah, motherfucker. Like,
yeah. But as far as what I'm playing, I'm definitely, I'm definitely, like, I was telling you about Bloodborne last time we went and met for a beer.
Yeah.
And I'm definitely, like, I'm more disappointed in myself because I haven't, like, it's not so much that I don't want to finish that game. It's just I'm feeling defeated at this point.
Oh my god, no, because games like that and Dark Souls are the fucking worst, man. They just so punishing.
Like, they're punishing and they just make you feel like I'm not worthy. I am not a gamer. I am not the gamer I thought I was. And so, like, okay, I got to this point in Bloodborne where it seemingly, I know I'm fucking missing something. Seemingly, like, I killed this enemy, he dropped something that's definitely supposed to help me kill this boss, and I used it all up on accident. Like, they only gave me 4 of them, and I used up, like, the 4th one, like, by accidentally pressing the button while I had it equipped. So I'm like,
you dumb
fuck.
motherfucker.
So I'm like, fuck. Like, I don't know if I could even get that back because basically it's just a potion that's like when you throw it at an enemy, it keeps them from regenerating their health. And for whatever reason, the creators of this game thought it would be funny to have this fucking giant ass monster be able to regain its health whenever it wanted to. So, like, even if you get it down to, like, a little less than half of its health, it'll probably regain most of that back.
You got to kill it faster.
Yeah. So and so they give you, like, a buddy, like, basically, like, you could summon this other hunter, whatever. So I'm basically at this point where I'm like, I've killed every enemy up to this point. Like, there has to be something I'm fucking missing. So I just kind of stopped playing because I got too busy. But it's like, at this point, it's just haunting me. Like, it's like no other game has. Like, there's been a lot of times I just didn't finish a game and I'm just like, I got bored with it. But no, this was just because I can't figure it out and I'm feeling like less of a man because of it.
That's hilarious.
But I did buy Doom. There was a special at GameStop. It was $20.
Oh, nice.
And so I went and bought it. I just haven't even opened it. So I'm, like, just waiting. I
heard that's fun, man. I mean, it just takes it back. You know, it's simple. Just point and shoot.
Yeah.
Just go through.
And I've been waiting for a good first-person shooter. So,
man, you got to get on that Phantom Pain, man. I gave that to you, man.
I like it a lot.
Oh,
I
yeah,
like it a
you
lot.
did?
I actually got to the second point where they, like, you go to steal this weapon, and then, like, I don't know if you remember, there was this point where, like, these enemies, they basically, like, they could dissipate and just, like, reappear, like, wherever.
Oh, okay.
I got to the second point where they reappear.
Oh, you know what? I was just introduced to those. Like,
yeah,
when I stopped, where even Snake was like, "What the fuck is that? Like, who the fuck are these guys?" Yeah.
So that's basically where
you lose them in, like, in a sandstorm or something.
Yeah. So there's a sandstorm and you have to ride off on a horse, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So they come back. So I'm at that point right now.
Are they tough to deal with?
They're they're scary.
Yeah. So, like, even to, like, so basically it's kind of the same as before, where you'd have to infiltrate, like, a base or, like, a little camp, but instead of, like, normal guards, you got these guys hanging around.
Right. It's definitely fucking Phantom Pain is crazy because you definitely feel like you're infiltrating something. I think with previous Metal Gear games, like, you'll infiltrate something, but they'll drop you right off, like at the front door.
Well, it just felt so fucking linear, man. And literally, once you were in, you just literally had to navigate.
You just had to find the right vent.
The right vent. It was all the same hallways, the same this, but it was all leading you to this one thing. Whereas this game is
this feels more
different
like
beast.
Okay, like I actually have to plan out like a day trip just to get there,
dude. I love that game so much, dude.
Yeah, but that's pretty much all I've been playing, man. Like,
that's awesome, man.
Yeah.
I can't wait to get back into it. Maybe once I finish with school, I'll have more time.
Oh, I canceled VR because of this, basically. But yeah, I canceled my reservation.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah.
I was gonna, go over and check out God damn it, Devin.
Yeah.
You make me wait.
Yeah, I'm sorry,
That's
but
all right.
I mean, for greener pastures, I had to.
Yeah, I get you.
To do it. I was really anticipating it too, and I was sort of hurt, and I was really like thinking, like, man, should I cancel my reservation and just buy it when they have it on the shelf or whatever? And GameStop kind of made the decision for me, because they called me and they're like, hey, we canceled your reservation. There's a problem with your card.
So you're like, all right, fuck it, then leave it like that.
Yeah, and they're basically like, oh, well, you could fix it. Like, it's probably just your card saying, we don't know if this is you. You could call them right now and we'll do it. I'm like, no, don't worry about it. I didn't even get mad at the lady. I was just like, okay, thank you for your time.
She's like, but. That's funny.
Yeah, so I don't know. It's just been things have been good though.
That's good,
it's
man.
Real good.
That's real good.
I'm ready to go to Seattle. That's for fucking sure.
Lucky son of a bitch, man.
I've been dying to go back, and I'm doing it kind of big this time. I'm doing like kind of those 3 days that we spent. Cause I don't think we ever talked about this on the podcast, where we were like just fucking chilling out in Seattle.
Yeah, getting drunk every day.
I'm doing those like 3 days that we kind of had, and it's going to be like Thursday, Friday, Saturday with Karina. And instead of going home, basically we're going to drive out of Seattle to Spokane. And
what's out there for you guys?
Just fucking exploring.
God
it's like a
damn.
3.5 hour drive. So, I mean, we're going to rent a car. I might just fucking rent a Jeep or something.
That's awesome,
yeah.
Man.
I've never been in like the woods like that. So it's like, I mean, obviously there's a road there, but it's just, I've never seen so much fucking trees.
Yeah, so much green out there, dude. It's nuts. No joke, bro. Like me and Vince were supposed to go out there when he was on leave last time. We had both planned a little trip where we basically can take a week, maybe 2, and then ride up there on our bikes.
Okay.
Yeah, and just head up there. But it sucked because just before he got home, I guess his dad found a buyer for his Harley. And he's like, well, you're going to be gone for most of the time, and I have a buyer now. I might as well get rid of it. So when Vince came back, there was no bike, so there was no trip, dude. We were going to literally ride out there, take the time, and just ride up PCH or like the 101.
Yeah.
All the way up.
That would have been fucking beautiful.
Oh,
dude.
my God, dude. That would have been the best.
I finally, like, me and Karina finally were able to drive. Like, I've been trying to drive down the 101 forever. And for whatever reason, I always fucking get on the wrong road to go to San Francisco. And
you take the 5?
I take the stupid ass fucking 5.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't want to see fucking dirt. I want to see the fucking ocean and shit.
It takes a lot longer, though. I mean, just know that. Like,
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, a lot longer.
Because, I mean, it spits you out in, like, fucking L.A.
Yeah,
in the middle of the fucking traffic.
Yeah.
But, like, I finally got it right coming down. So it was cool. Like, we stopped at a few places. We took some pictures. Like, it was perfect.
Hearst Castle, playa?
I did not see that.
Oh, okay. That's a fun little side, little detour.
Yeah. But, I mean, to go all the way up, like, that'd be fucking nuts.
No, dude, I want to so bad, man. I mean, we might still do it. I just, have to plan it again. Yeah. Hell, if on his next leave, I still have my other bike that I haven't sold.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
mean, this trip was definitely like, it was just going to do simply, go to Seattle, leave from Seattle. I don't know. I just had the hair up my ass, just fucking, like, I don't know. I got to see what else is out there. I just got to go.
Awesome,
I got to
dude.
drive.
I want to go out there so bad, bro. Like you said, like go explore the eastern part of Washington. Go out there and oh my God, dude.
I mean, what ended up happening, though, was that it was when I was planning the trip, I mean, it would have been the same amount of money, but to come back on Sunday, it would have been like $300, right? Just for 2 plane tickets. So I was looking, I'm like, well, if we come back Monday, it's going to be, we would find a place to stay and it would be the same amount of money. You just get an extra night. So why not just, and then I was kind of looking at it, I'm like, well, why not just drive? Why not just spend an extra little bit of money and just drive? To see if I could leave from Spokane and go to Ontario Airport. And sure enough, you can, like, for the same plane ticket. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna fucking do that then.
That is freaking killer, dude. You have to take lots of pictures, man.
Show me what's I'm gonna have video. I'm gonna have some shit.
That's
it's gonna
sick,
be fun.
Dude.
It's gonna be fucking fun. I'm excited. Like, that's 2 months away. So
that's sick, dude.
You wanna wrap this podcast?
Oh man, I probably got to get back to moving some shit. I'm sorry, dude.
No, it's all good, man. I've been here for a couple hours, so it's all good. It's an hour perfect, so.
Yeah, an hour recording.
So we're good, man.
Oh man, as always, Devin, it's a pleasure, and congratulations on this new place.
Thank you.
All of you guys, man, Arlie, Aaron,
Yeah.
You.
Thank you, man.
This is
We're all-
fucking awesome, man.
I mean, like, we're right around the corner from you, so.
And I meant what I said, dude. Like, if you guys need help, like, say you want to paint a wall, I mean, if you're willing to wait for me to, like, tape it up, like, I'm telling you, I surprise myself at my house. I do some clean ass lines, man. I'm a fucking gangster with that frog tape.
That's the
No,
Mexican.
you can't.
Some Mexican laborer.
Right? Yeah, dude. I just walk in the fucking Home Depot parking lot and I just gain these powers.
Yeah.
But no joke, man. I surprised myself, man. I was those are some of the cleanest lines, bro. It was fucking sick.
I'm gonna let you know, man, because we are gonna need
even muscle or whatever it is you need. Yeah. And then next time I come through, man, I'll bring a bag of groceries for you guys, man, to keep in here.
Oh man, we appreciate that.
Yeah, man,
I appreciate these.
This
like
is
I said,
fucking,
you brought the fucking goodies today.
Anytime, dude. Anytime, brother. I'm just happy to be here. Congratulations, man. This is freaking sick.
Thank you, man.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right, everybody. This was the end of episode 206. We're talking with John Aguilar.
Yeah.
Friend for fucking going on 10 years now, man.
Yeah, dude. It's been a long ass time, brother. Yeah,
what's
plenty more to come.
What's the anniversary gift for 10 years of marriage or cohabitation?
Fuck. And you know what's as stupid is I should know this because I read Gone Girl recently, and that shit that has a central part to do with it. Is it leather? No, it's not leather.
Wait, because it was in the movie too, right?
Yeah.
She gave him a gift or something because they had been together for 10 years. Or, I don't know.
5, I think, or something like that.
Yeah.
It's 135, or I forget, man. It's like leather or wood.
Wood. It's wood.
I got some wood for you, Devin.
I might wait another 10.
Yeah.
But thanks for coming through, man. I'm really happy you were
man, it's a pleasure,
check
brother.
this shit out.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Thank you guys for listening. Peace.